Hey there, welcome back to the Postpartum Path of Yoga. This is phase 2, week 1 of your gentle movement practice. We're going to start today using our folded blanket for easy pose. So remember, you want to sit on that nice firm ledge there. Have a simple cross of the legs. And we're just going to find that shoulder, rib, pelvis alignment. Let the shoulders drop down and just take a moment to breathe. Come into yourself. So this may be the first time you've gotten to consciously breathe today. Enjoy. And we're going to move from easy pose into getting into the head, neck, and shoulders a little bit with eagle arms. So eagle arms, we're just going to start by reaching nice and long. Find that wonderful opening across the chest. Take a nice breath in, and then as you exhale, cross one arm over the other, and you're going to bend at the elbows. So we want to feel that the tops of the shoulders are dropping down, shoulder blades moving away from each other, and the underarms are as parallel to the floor as you can get. This is a big stretch for the shoulders. If you want to do the bind with the wrist and hands, that's fine, but you don't have to. Just breathe here. And then take a nice breath in. Release the arms out wide, 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 wide. And then cross the other arm on top. Find your bind. And maybe you don't have as much mobility with the other arm on top. It's just noticing what you notice. Don't ever force anything to happen. Just be kind to yourself with whatever your body is giving you in the moment. Just feel that beautiful breath. Release the arms out. Just roll the shoulders, a little shimmy backwards. And now from here, we're going to move the spine in 6 directions. So inhale the arms up, get the spine nice and long, and then exhale, little forward bend here. So notice that we're not flopping forward. We're still keeping some integrity in the spine. You want to always be strengthening the back line of the body in some way. But in a forward fold, I want you to focus on like a yawning action through the back. I always like to do a little bobblehead at the base of the skull to be sure I'm not holding any tension there. So I keep myself honest. All right, we're gonna walk the hands back, reach up again, nice long spine, and then exhale, bring the hands behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades back and down. Just open across the chest, little back bend in the upper middle back. Notice I don't throw the head back. The neck can only take so much weight, right? And the head's heavy, so please don't hurl your head back. Just keep it in a nice alignment with the chin aligned with the middle of the throat. It's a nice, safe way to go about it. And then gently releasing that little back bend, little roly-poly. Inhale the arms up. And then bringing down one hand, just find a nice side bend here. So it's like you're stretching that armpit skin, keeping some integrity, I call it sparkle fingers, through the tips of the fingers so we're not flopping anywhere, reaching up and over. Good, now we're gonna inhale, both arms up, reach, 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 and then exhale, other side. Again, find those little sparkle fingers. Beautiful. Bring those arms back up. We're going to inhale and exhale into a twist. So we want to keep the spine nice and long. See if you can bring the back of the hand to the outer thigh, twisting the middle back, upper back. Reaching both arms up through center. Exhale, other side. Beautiful. Releasing all the way back down. Man, doesn't that feel nice? Okay, so now we're going to move into hero pose. And now this is a pose that I like to use yoga blocks with, especially if your knees are tight, hips are tight, quadriceps, the front of your thighs are tight. If you're just tight, start with the blocks and then you can lower your hips down. I'll show you what I mean by that. So we're going to move the blanket out of the way and we're going to sit kneeling. But this might feel like it's a lot of tension in the ankles, tops of the feet, knees, all those joints. So I like to start with 2 blocks. I'm going to stack them up. And it is surprisingly comfortable. And as you sit in hero's pose, you want to feel like the feet are in parallel lines to one another. They're not sickled in. And that all 5 toes are equally making contact with your mat. So you can even push down on your toes, get those toenails to touch down. And I like to even do a little massage of the backs of the feet while I sit in hero pose. You don't have to do that at all. You can just sit in hero's pose and just breathe. So again, what we're feeling here is that shoulder, ribs, pelvis alignment. You can read the why behind the things we do in the book, The Postpartum Path of Yoga. I've talked about it in other videos. But we always want to find different postures, but keeping a nice alignment so that we are slowly, steadily, intelligently getting stronger. So we're going to sit here for a few breaths. And sometimes what I like to do in heroes is maybe I'll start with the 2 blocks. And if I feel like my joints are acclimated to this positioning, I might remove 1 block, but move the bottom block to the medium setting. So that's like this setting, and believe it or not, this will hold your sitting bones. And so then it's kind of like a halfway. It's like Mama Bear. We were at Papa Bear, now we're at Mama Bear. Maybe 1 block is Baby Bear. Go to what feels right for you. Find your just right. Amazing how the 3 bears comes back for us again and again. Just feel your breath. Beautiful. And this is a pose that you can sit in as you play with your baby on the floor. When my baby was really small and we were, constantly doing the stacking blocks and reading little books and all the little things that they play with to get their tummy time and their tactile experiences, I would sit in a yoga pose, because why not? Why not optimize that spinal alignment, getting some strength, just opening up different channels of the body. It was great. And nobody had to know. All right, we're gonna move into from hero's pose into table. So come join me. Move my props out of the way. All right, so table pose. We have our hands under the shoulders, fingers spread wide, knees are hip distance apart. Nice long line. So again, very tempting to just let everything sag down, but we have integrity. So we're gonna feel tops of the shoulders moving down, shoulder blades anchored on those back ribs. And from here, from our table, let's move into cow. So we're gonna let the tailbone point up, breastbone gets nice and long. Inhale, and then exhale into cat pose. Again, we'll do maybe 5 more of these. Just slowly moving through cow and cat. And I encourage you to focus on bending where you feel more stiff. It's easy to just hinge on the same little part, back and forth, back and forth. And that might be a hyper flexible part of your spine, but we want to find balance. And so see from your inner eye if you can feel the areas that might have a little bit of tension there, and can you initiate the movement or bring the movement to that spot? I think this one makes 5. As you know, when I talk, I lose count. All right, let's come back to neutral table, and from here we're going to come into bird dog. Bird dog is one of my desert island poses for strengthening all parts of the core. So we're going to bring one foot out. This is my left foot, and then right arm extended out ahead. It's like I'm trying to reach for something. If you want, you can lift the leg up, so long as you can keep the belly and the spine in a nice integrity with each other. No sagging, please. Let's alternate sides. So we want to keep the pelvis as level as we can. It's like you're, balancing a mug of something on your sacrum. That's the idea. So that in doing so, the core is doing a lot of work to find stability. Stability means strong. Keep moving on your breath. Keep hitting my table. Hello, table. Let's just do one more for each side after this. Make sure that you end where you're balanced between both sides. Good. And then from this, let's come into an extended child's pose. Ooh, I love this pose. Just bringing the arms out long, hips sink back. And if you feel like your head is heavy and it wants to hang on the spine, that's not really good for the central nervous system. That's not really restorative. So have a yoga block under your forehead and just rest it there. Just breathe. I used to just stroke my baby's tummy while I laid in an extended child's pose. And the more that I did yoga around my baby, the more she did it with me. Now she's 12 and she still does it with me. Good. Let's come back up. All right, we're going to come to lay on our backs. Semi-supine position. If you need a little pillow for the back of your head, just use a blanket, please. I'm going to move a little more out of the way. All right. Just coming to lie down. We're going to do our semi-supine pelvic floor contraction and release exercises. So I always like to start just by rocking my pelvis, what I call north to south, keeping the feet and the knees and the hips in a nice line with each other. And so you might recall this movement was happening in our cat-cow. So let's inhale while the tailbone points down towards the floor. Feel that pelvic floor release, and then exhale. Birthday candle breath. Rock the pelvis, tailbone pointing up, and squeeze that pelvic floor. Release that. Inhale. Exhale. Again. Inhale, release. Exhale, contract. Inhale, release. Exhale, contract. Inhale, release. Exhale, contract. You might feel those lower abdominal muscles also contracting because it's just that real estate right there and the pubic bone is right there, right? So it might be feeling that residual contraction up. Inhale. Just do one more contraction. Let that go. Now the next pose that we're going to do is seriously one of my favorite ever. I'm going to roll to the side. Legs up the wall. So we're going to take our firm blanket, fold it so it's a little bit thicker, and we're going to place it against the wall, and you do need a wall for this. It could be a closed door, that's okay. But we're going to scooch hips onto the blanket and then swing around so that your pelvis is nice and level. Again, shoulder, rib, pelvis alignment. Legs are up the wall, and I love to have my arms out like a W shape. We'll be here for, oh my goodness, a couple minutes, but you could be here for as long as you want. I say, 10 to 15 minutes is kind of the sweet spot. So as we sit and breathe, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the benefits of legs up the wall. So when we're standing upright, sitting upright, just upright, that's how we operate. Gravity is pulling blood down to the feet. And of course, we have a heart that works hard for us, and movements will also help circulate blood back up the legs to the heart. But sometimes our feet and ankles and calves can get swollen. Just water can pool there. And legs up the wall is working with gravity, but in another way. So now we're getting gravity to help pull the lymph and the water and the blood back up towards the trunk where it can more easily recirculate through the heart. So this is a very restorative pose. I think it feels amazing on the back. I love not having any weight on my feet, because I don't ever realize how tired my feet are until I'm in legs up the wall. And of course, having your arms out like a W shape or a T, you just get that beautiful release across the armpit, chest area, which has a lot of lymph in it as well. And it gets very tight and tired from holding baby or child. Or carrying groceries, or all the things that we're doing, or maybe it's all of that happening at the same time. But legs up the wall is a beautiful way to give yourself a nice little gift, even if it's just 5 minutes. So my baby had a hard time connecting her sleep cycles until she was about 11 and a half months old. And so she would sleep in 15 to 20 minute chunks, and it was exhausting, to say the least. And so knowing that her nap was only going to be 15 to 20 minutes before I'd have to either try to comfort her to get back into sleep or she was just done, legs up the wall was a go-to for me. You have to optimize your time to take care of yourself in all kinds of ways, right? All right, so now from here, you can either stay in legs up the wall, or if you want to join me into our supine rest and relaxation, you're just gonna bend your knees, just roll onto your side, just curl up off of the blanket, and then come to lie down flat on the mat. So just making that gingerbread cookie shape, and enjoy just resting, deep rest. Feel your breath. And you can be here for as long as you like. But please give yourself the gift of rest. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.